to my channel.
Hello.
Welcome to my diva. She wanted to join in. She wanted to sit on my lap while I was doing some diamond painting. I don't know how long she'll last, so we'll see how we go. So grab your cuppas. I've got my bucket of tea, which is going cold.
Lights, Mummy.
Yes, Sophie, lights on. I have 3 pens here. One is from Diamond Pens, the resin one. One is the Bethlehem Olive, and the other one is from Jim's Handmade Pens, which is the hybrid. Stop. And I am working on Galaxy. I just thought for a change I would do some squares. Hopefully I can see this. I've got her on one leg. It's not exactly comfortable, but we'll see how long either of us lasts. So, where's F? Okay, grab your work. I've got mine. Put that down. And I'll see if I can do this. Galaxy is a square. No, Sophie, you don't mix the drills. She's going to be quite chatty today, I think. It's one of my last few days home before I go back to work. No, Sophie, please, please. I sent an email into work, actually. Speaking of etiquette or lack of etiquette, I sent an email into work to the admin person who does the rosters and said, look, can you give me a call and we can discuss my coming back? Well, she was working over the weekend and she didn't return my call, and so that means that she's off today, but to not have heard from her is a little disconcerting.
After getting a reminder.
Yeah, after getting a reminder, what am I doing? Because I'm clearly okay enough to do waterfall walks, so therefore I should be back working, or giving a please explain from doctors or whatever. And the thing is, I'd only just sent an email through the previous week saying I don't know what's going to happen. I don't see my physio until the 4th. So I'll let you know as soon as I know. Yeah. So it's just like, oh God. You want me running around jumping hoops for you guys yet.
Hopefully you'll get a chance to say to your boss, yeah, the 2-year-old did the grade 4 walk. That's not a grade 4 walk.
Yeah, I actually sent him an email saying, hey, just sorry to be pedantic, but
You didn't.
I did.
Oh my God.
Yep. Because it was bugging me. That he assumed I had done a much harder walk. I need you to get down, Sophie. This is breaking my legs. Go. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
When did you send that?
Say bye-bye. The day after.
Right.
Because I was stewing on it. And it was just like, no, you've made an assumption here that's wrong, so I'm correcting you. He doesn't like being corrected either. A typical male, but we were only just talking about this today. What? That one? You need a bowl. You need a little bowl. I might capture this on camera. I might get her to sit on my lap for it. Wait and see. A little bowl, Sophie. Little. Very little. Dear. Anyway, so yeah, he made this assumption that, oh, I'm off doing hikes or whatever. And I'm kind of thinking, you're the kind of manager who, if I was off on mental health, would be complaining because I was going for walks or whatever and seeming to get my jollies because I'm going out for a coffee or whatever. Because there's some interesting theories. No, I want a smaller bowl. There's some interesting theories on people being off work with mental health and how you can't be a functioning person if you've got mental health issues. And
it's not about mental health.
This one's not about mental health, but I have faced this with mental health, and it's okay, I didn't have somebody spying on my social media or anything, but yeah, it's just a bit kind of like, you don't know what my treatment regime is. You don't know if I've actually been prescribed to do that walk, because the Snug Falls walk that I did was prescribed. And it was like worse than the falls that he queried. Now that's not a small bowl. Little, tiny bowl. Quick, or you lose out. Goodness.
So what was the thing about not wanting to be told?
Sorry? So anyway, yeah, yeah, so they're kind of hassling me to get in touch with them. I do, and then they don't respond, and it's like, oh, bloody hell. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I should contact them tomorrow, wait to be contacted, or just show up on Friday and just kind of go, well, I emailed you, and, you know, anyway. I did go into the office to talk to her on Friday, and then found out that she was working afternoons. That's even bigger. Marcus, could you sort out a soy sauce bowl for her, please?
A soy sauce bowl.
That tiny, yes.
Like pure.
Kind of.
Where are they?
They're next to her bowls.
Come on, Sophie.
I don't know what. Seriously, I think she spotted this. How does she know this is lollies? Is this what you're talking about? This?
Yes.
How does a kid... There's no smell off this package. How does she know what's in this? Well, she's in for a bloody shock. Hang on. Let me make some space. Come here, Sophie. Come and sit on my lap. Mommy's going to be evil. Oh, there's some big pieces in there too. Now Daddy's got into the road trip lollies. Alright. Come here. Hang on. Let me get her face. Okay. Are you gonna have some? What's it doing? What's it doing, Sophie? Is it popping?
Yes.
Does it feel funny? Does it feel funny? Try opening your mouth. Great big crack. Open your mouth. Is that fun? And she's opening her mouth now because she's got the... There you go. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Alright, go. Take your popping candy. Dear. She's quite a sensory orientated kid. Marcus said he was the same when he was a kid, but she's yeah, she's quite sensitive to different kind of sensations. That was funny. It was nice, but it was funny. And I'm glad she's enjoying them. No, no, she's just dipping her tongue into the whole bowl. Hence her needing a small bowl. You're gonna get it all over your face. Sit down. Show Daddy.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, Daddy doesn't want the popping candy.
I don't want to disturb one.
Oh, because he's got the... What am I doing? Anyway. Yeah, so... to be honest, the lack of response is kind of leaving me a bit kind of deflated and not looking forward to going back as well. It's like care factor 0, you know, we'll nag you, but No, that's it. That's all gone. You know, we'll nag you to find out what's going on, but then we won't respond. To find out, is there anything that you actually need, or, you know, do I need a new desk? Do I need a new chair? Anything like that. Now, I don't think. But the fact that the questions maybe haven't been asked or considered, or I don't know. It's just like, sometimes you're brilliant and sometimes you're completely shite. And if I was one of your buddy girlfriends, I'd be fine, but I'm not. So I'm not in with the crowd, and therefore, you know, marginalized. And there are cliques within my workplace, and I've got a colleague who can be quite a Debbie Downer, but she's quite blunt in the fact that she is sidelined as well. Now, usually it doesn't bother me, but occasionally it does. But you know, when I was in the office, I had a colleague walk right next to me, and he didn't say anything to me. Like, he hasn't seen me for months, and he walked right past me. And you know, and then I've got the other extreme is the gossip, the office bitch who, I don't know, he never seems to do his work. He's always around gossiping with everyone, making up his own ideas about everything, life, the universe, and everything in it. And his opinion is the opinion. And, you know, yeah, he'll be kind of going, oh, I heard so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm kind of thinking, how the hell did you hear so-and-so? Who the, you know, and the blabbing and the talking, and it's just, I don't know. Other people in different sections have noticed this.
Really sounds like you're looking forward to work.
Yeah, I know. Infighting or bitching or something, and people don't want to move there. And I'm kind of thinking, yeah. If you're in with the shopping girls, you're fine. Or if you're, you know, but if you kind of keep to yourself, you're kind of left out a bit. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think I'm looking forward to going back to work.
The problem is they're all tripping over each other's Superman capes.
Yeah, this is why you're not allowed to have capes. It's very much an ego-centric area, and you're kind of autonomous to a point as well. Yeah.
Sorry, secret superheroes.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Anyway, I don't know. If I don't hear from her, I'll contact my immediate supervisor and say, hey, I've contacted so-and-so and said this, and I'm coming back, and yeah, see how we go.
Get on with that.
No, I'll do it tomorrow when the other one's back. Anyway, moving on, because, you know, I don't want to be thinking about work on my days off. Jeez. Started considering actually going back to work and started dreaming about the bloody place. It was like, oh God. Yeah, that was bad. It was really bad as well when I was working as what we call them here as a checkout chick. I don't know what you call them in the States.
It's not like it's affecting your mood.
No, thanks. He's telling me I'm being grumpy too now. In his subtle way of... Right. Yeah, when I was a checkout chick and I was...
Right.
Shut up!
Let me tell you that you're never wrong.
Right. Yeah, when I was a checkout chick, I actually started dreaming of checkout related stuff. Yeah, that was freaky. A bit like when I went to France and eventually started dreaming in French. That was a bit of kind of woohoo language, you know. Just one of those kind of things. Anyway, so where are we at? I have been stitching like crazy this last week. I have already finished the Not a Mermaid stitch along. If I think of it when I'm editing, I will put a picture in of her. This month was the inky swirl that is basically going around her in a big kind of sphere, circle kind of thing. And here in her right hand is a magic kind of orb if you do with Cassie's selection, and if you were to go with Leslie's selection, it is a skull. So the first image I actually saw on the site, on the Facebook group, was Leslie's and the skull, and I kind of thought, oh my lord, that's like wow factor. Now, I'm not into skulls as a rule, and I didn't know at the time that there was an alternative, but you know, I've gone with the alternative because there is one. So the floss toss that I did actually incorporated skull colors rather than my colors in my selection. So my selection actually only had 3 colors in it. It had 939. You know what I absolutely love from the cross stitch and the diamond painting is I know the colors by number. It's so exciting. It's so stupid. Yeah, I know, the stupid things that get you excited. But it was 939, it was 310, but it was a 12 310, so it's like using ABs. And it was a 12 823. Sorry, 823. Yes, 823. The alternative to 823 was the boring DMC 939. So yeah, it was amazing. And when I first looked at the pattern, I kind of thought, oh crap, you know, this is going to be a case of counting so carefully, miscounting. I'm gonna stuff up my stitches. I didn't, although there is a glitch over on the right hand side. There seems to be a row off position, and I'm not sure if that's because I did the leaf wrong or the ink wrong. I think the ink is right. Excuse me. I think the ink is right, but I think the leaf might be wrong, like it's 1 too high or something. Anyway, I'm fudging it, I don't care, and it will be fine. At the end of the day, it's going to look, you know, different from everyone else's because we're all doing different hair colors. So yeah, she looks incredible. I am thrilled beyond belief. Ooh, my drill tray got cracked. I'm gonna have to get some more. I've already cracked the side of this one. Yeah, this one cracked off. Now it's got a slit down the side. I had another one that I needed Marcus to do a 3D print for, and it got stood on or something, so it shattered. So that leaves me with 2 large of these, and they are amazing size trays. Yeah, I'm behind the vacuum at the moment. He's doing some kind of ducted Duvalaki is the plan. So yes, I'm being shunted down the line. Anyway, so the last kind of week has been, well, Thursday, Friday last week was physio appointment and doctor's appointment. Physio is really happy with my progress. She's just upped the exercises to do, which, you know, are nothing serious. It's lunges and some holds, working on the core, just trying to build up stamina, and then some presses. All that can be done at home, which is cool. So that is all good, and she doesn't want to see me again. She says I'm doing really well, I've got a plan in progress, and yeah, I'm discharged from her effectively. GP wants to see me after working a week, and he says I'm doing really, really well. And I kind of went, gee, sometimes it doesn't feel like it. I said, I'm really pleased that the pain is gone. That is like, it is almost kind of like a miracle, even though, you know, it's not one of those, you know, amazings. But I think some of the doctors, they kept on saying, or the nurse, oh, no, you might still get the nerve pain, blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of thinking, I haven't had anything. Am I a freak? Did they just get it and nail it? Or what the heck? But I have done my damnedest to do as I'm told post-operatively. I also have, you know, his nibs harping on at me not to lift and do all of that kind of carry on. So I've had somebody else to support me in...
I'm so offended.
Oh, shut up. to support me in my post-op kind of care. And to a certain point, I will make sure I actually ask him to do something rather than just doing it myself. Although I did spin the mattress this morning. I didn't lift it. I just pivoted it.
Oh, you mean like I did?
No. Nothing like you did. No, it never got higher than the bed end. I just lifted the corner up onto it and then pivoted around on the bed end. Sophie watched. She's supervised.
Grade 2 lift, does it?
What?
It's not like a grade 4 manoeuvre.
Right.
Just because...
Anyway. We've got, actually, with the new mattress that we got just before my surgery, we got email support from the manufacturer. Hang on. So we signed up, I signed up the email, and it basically sends you an email saying, hey, your mattress is due for a rotation. And it's been doing this literally every 2 weeks. And, you know, the first time I got the email, it was like, what? So, yeah, I think we've missed one rotation just because hubby was slack and kept forgetting, and I kept forgetting. And then it was like, another reminder came through, and it was like, oh my God. So, yeah, I think every 2 weeks in the first 6 months or so, it tells you to rotate. This is to get the whole bed fluffy and soft and even and all that kind of thing. It says, if you're alone in the bed, lie in the center. Don't just lie in the trough that is your human space. You know, it's not a coffin or anything. All of that kind of stuff. So it's really, really good advice. It's really good support. Because you're emailed, you get the reminder. You don't have to set anything in your phone or anything else, and it just comes in a timely fashion. And it's just really, really good support. It is actually made... Sorry, where is it made?
Local.
It's local. Yes, it's a local suburb made. It's not. It's like it's in Hobart area. So again, it's supporting a local manufacturer as well. So, you know, it's like bonus, bonus, bonus all over for this. So really, really happy with all of that. The bed itself is comfy. I think we had one night where we kind of, both of us were a bit off. After that, it's just been Marcus being off because he doesn't sleep anyway.
I used to sleep before we had this lovely little bundle.
Oh, he seems to think he used to sleep before we had Sophie. And then, see, I don't even wake for Sophie. It's complete turnaround.
I used to have a sleep app and all that kind of
yes.
stuff. Yeah. I had it all finely tuned. I was actually getting something like 7 hours of sleep a night.
Oh.
Now I'm getting 2.
Oh.
If I'm lucky.
Lucky he's not like me and grumpy with the sleep deprivation.
No, it doesn't affect me at all.
No. So, yeah, I don't even wake with her. I was like hyper alert when it was me being the stay-at-home parent, but I don't even wake with her. And that's because he's waking with her, you know, or just not sleeping. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't miss those days of sleep deprivation. Yeah, so this weekend it was due to rain, like big time rain. It actually rained up in the top left of the state. Again, if you think of Tasmania as a heart shape, the top left quadrant is the northwest, and the weather forecast for there was severe rain. Like major weather event and flood warnings and all that kind of thing, as we sometimes get. And we decided, well, we can't do a waterfall walk, we'll do an indoor activity. So we opted for the Launceston Queen Victoria Museum.
How did you pronounce that?
Launceston. If you're in Scotland, it's Launceston, I think. It's a Scottish town. So we got on the road by
Yes, when did we get on the road?
9? Quarter to 9? Something like that. He reckons he's going to get me out by 8 at some point. Yeah, we'll see. That's not a challenge. But we tied in with this trip to collect a band saw that he found. So what he did was figured, okay, we'll do an indoor trip to this museum. Let's see what's for sale up in the area. So he found a band saw at $150 and he's going, yeah, I'm not going to pay that. So he starts chatting with the owner, who turns out to be female, and she hasn't got a clue. She wants to sell it because it's the exes, and you know, I'm going to leave it at that with the information. But he negotiates with her on the app, the sale app, and I'm kind of thinking, why are you pushing so hard on the sale app? But anyway, he's got his ways and means, and he negotiates with her and gets a price. And then she messages him back and she says, no, my mum doesn't like that price. No, sorry, I've got another offer. And Marcus turned around and said, fine, take it. And basically just goes, good luck, bye. And then she comes back and she goes, oh, well, and they start talking again. Now it turns out that her mother doesn't like the price that he's offered. And she's now got involved. And anyway, he keeps on talking with her and saying, look, if you can get a better price, then take it. Knowing that she hasn't got a better price. So they continue and she kind of goes, no, it's okay. I'll give it to you for this price that we've agreed on, blah, blah. See you in the morning. So we head up there and he wants to try out the saw, and she's got some bloke with her who volunteers to turn the saw on and then proceeds to try and use it wrong. And Marcus is cringing and she's cringing. Yeah, so Marcus gets a band saw, carries it out to the car, and I'm amazed at how small this thing is. Like, it's tiny. I thought it was going to be huge. It's not. It's I don't know. It's no taller than Sophie.
They're not cheap.
But yeah, it's not cheap, and he got it for an awesome price. And he's happy with his negotiations. And he thinks, what? Yeah, there's a bit of rust on it. He could probably clean it off and re-coat it or something so that it's not so scungy.
I might even buy a new blade for it.
Yes. So yeah, he's got a new bandsaw for one of those, what kind of project are you doing kind of thing? Yeah, just to have. So
They're useful.
yeah, he says they're useful. So he's got this bargain, and now we're free to go to the museum. So it started off, actually the morning started off foggy. We were in the cloud, and I took a photo at the beginning of the walk, or beginning of the morning, of the sunlight on the water and the cloud, you know, being really low. We have had mornings here where we get in the winter where we're just above the fog bank, or, you know, we're in the middle of the fog bank, whatever it is. Anyway, so this was really pretty. And then we start driving up and the sky just opens up and it's blue and it's beautiful, and it's kind of like, where's the rain? Overnight, this northwest corner has had 99.8 mil of rain in less than 24 hours. Okay, that's, you know, 10 centimeters of rain. That is colossal. Waterfalls would have been amazing if we had gone to any, but we didn't know that we'd have the weather. So we get up halfway, we stop off at the bakery so that I can get my mocha ring, because this is penalty for him buying a bandsaw. He gets me a mocha ring, like a profiterole pastry with cream and coffee icing that I've raved about before. Yeah, it's a huge punishment. It's an ordeal. So he gets a vanilla slice, which is one of his favorites. I don't know if this particular vanilla slice was his favorite, but vanilla slice is his favourite, so I got him one of those. And we keep driving. And then the sky opens and we get a bit of rain, and it's kind of like we've left the sun behind us in, you know, sunny Hobart. But then it opens up again and it's nice and bright and sunny. And when we get to Launceston, we can hear music nearby. Turns out a festival is on at the same time. For some weird reason, the museum charges for parking. So I don't understand this, especially on a weekend. It even charges for parking, and it's kind of like, geez, that's a bit rich. But anyway, it is what it is. So we go, and there's an art exhibition from college students in the non-permanent exhibit site. So the last time we had been there, this big room was full of spiders, and we purposely went because the kid is, you know, stupid when it comes to spiders. So she was pretty okay with the spider exhibit. So yeah, anyway, same room. So all of these college kids, so you're talking 15, 16, 17-year-old college kids, the last couple of years in school before university equivalent. And some of the artwork in here was just incredible. There were some quite poignant, artsy-fartsy pronunciation kind of proclamations, more to the point, you know, of how traumatic the world is and all this kind of jazz. And then there was some, and it was just like the art spoke for itself. Some really, really talented kids though. It was amazing to see. Then we went through to the next exhibit, and I hadn't been into this room for years, like probably 15 years, I don't think. Went in, and you're greeted by dinosaurs. And I just kept walking around this group of dinosaurs because there's one up there, and it looks like it's a T-Rex. But it's not, because it's actually next to the T-Rex. And this thing has arms, like 4 arms and little claws. They couldn't even reach its mouth. It's like, they're not even chicken wings. I don't know why this thing had them. Seriously, it was the most wacky thing I have ever seen. It's like, who in the hell invented this thing?
If it's not like a clean sheep,
oh,
you'd have been able to eat the sheep's head, but not the body.
it was just bizarre. And then it had the chompy teeth. So it didn't even have chewy teeth. It had the meat-eating teeth. But look at the photo. If you can make it out, this is the problem. In the photo, it's so busy because all the dinosaurs were together. Then there was another one that I'm thinking of the name Morag, but I don't know if it's Morag. Is there a turtle in Labyrinth or something? And is it Labyrinth? I can't even think. It looks like a loggerhead turtle, but it's got these little teeth at the side of its mouth. There's no teeth at the front. It's just got these teeth at the side. They're tiny teeth. And they're kind of like sheep teeth, so they're grinding teeth. And it's just this big bulldozer of a thing with this big buff head on it. It was quite incredible. And they didn't necessarily have name plaques for what each of these dinosaurs were. So there was another thing that was huge. It was, you know, great big long neck, and then this tiny, tiny head. Like, completely disproportionate. And we're kind of going, did they just mix up the skeletons or something when they were putting these together? It just looked completely wackadoodle. Absolutely bizarre. So, yeah, it was like having a giraffe head on top of an elephant body. It was just so strange. Then there was this gorgeous exhibit in the next island exhibit, and it was all Tassie animals. So there was wallabies and wombats and quolls, and there was a tiny little joey, like a perfect looking little joey, just standing there next to its parent, kind of, well, you know, probably wasn't its parent, you know what I mean. Anyway, all taxidermied, but looking so lifelike. It was amazing. And of course you couldn't pet any of these, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it was amazing. So I was messaging a friend who I knew was going to, she had been at a transport museum with her family over the Christmas period, and I was messaging her, showing her pictures, you know, because that's what we do. And yeah, because I know she was going to pass them on to her son and show him what we were kind of looking at. So it was all kinds of cool being able to share with them. Then in the top half of the room, so you've got the bottom room, which is all the animals and exhibits and stuff, and then up top there's a balcony around the outside, and this thing's hanging from the ceiling. So there's a plane. I didn't even work out who flew this plane, but there was a plane up in the ceiling, and you know, they've put a pelican up on one of the bookshelves. They also had a pelican that was flying, which I didn't see from below, I saw from above. But they had a pelican sitting on the bookshelf, and I pointed it out to Marcus, and said that's just the perfect position to put a pelican in, because that they perch high, and they perch usually on lampposts and stuff. But it was just clever exhibiting. There was bits from a first boat. So there was a not the tiller, the rudder from a boat. This thing was huge. It was like a barn door hanging in suspension, because all it was basically the metal rod and the rudder. No context really for anything else, but you know, the ship would have been monstrous out of it. I think it was the O'Sullivan, no, was it O'Sullivan Cove or Sydney Cove? So then there was some first settlers kind of stuff, so descriptions of what they ate, shoes, holy cow, they had tiny feet, like the size of my hand, tiny, and skinny feet.
Undernourished.
Yeah, undernourished, because, you know, people didn't live long back then either. But it was just amazing how, you know, we've got, you know, size 10 to 13 is normal, and seriously, my foot's small in this house, and you know, these shoes were tiny. Quite amazing, just kind of looking at them. So there was loads and loads of leather. They actually had a ban on killing cows for leather because there weren't enough cows. So they would import the leather, and they had bits of hide, you know, just kind of lying there on exhibit. It was really, really cool. The next area we went to was kind of like an immersive area. So it was physics section. So there was a water wheel that was pumping. It was absolutely flying around. It was gorgeous to watch and listen to. And that was going, and then there was different bits with chimes, and there was one exhibit that was supposed to have had a magnet attached, and you're supposed to try and throw the magnet at this 500-pound piece of metal, and the magnet was going to stick to this thing quite vigorously because of the mass behind it. So, you know, so all these, you know, weird sciencey things. They had a speed gun radar thingy for throwing a ball at, that a couple that were ahead of us threw a ball, and you know, they got 89 kilometers or whatever as their speed. Marcus threw a ball and hit the first one, hit the radar, and it was like 51. You know, he's kind of going, oh, there was no effort with that. There was a whisper station which was basically a metal dish, and then on the other side of the courtyard was another metal dish. So you got two dishes kind of here and here, and you could whisper into one and you could hear it at the other. It was really freaky how clear the resonance came through. It was crystal clear. So there was that, and a couple of kaleidoscopy kind of things, and that. And then we went into the blacksmith area. There's a video for here. Because they have made it an auditory experience as well. So this is all linked to what's called the tram shed. And there are still active trams in and out of this place apparently. But the tram shed it's the blacksmith place. And so they've got all the blacksmith zones, and this is a huge warehouse, sorry my nose is dripping, kind of area, and nobody's in there, but you hear all these sounds and noises of things tinking and just humanity. And so I just got a quick 1-minute video kind of just looking around the whole room, getting the sounds and everything else. It was really cool. And a lot of this stuff was certainly used up until the early 1900s. I don't think it said when they stopped using it as a blacksmith, but I would have thought fairly recently. Marcus is drooling over grinders that were there. The grindstones, yeah, it was this big machinery with 2 or 3 grinding areas. Yes, I need to blow my nose, I think. It was really cool. It was typical blacksmith smell as well. So it wasn't oil, it was just, I don't know, iron filing kind of weird smell. Not like my dad's workshop or anything, so it wasn't kind of like, ooh, I'm home kind of smell. No, Sophie. No. But it was still kind of cool. So they've got this path that you walk in one direction through. And then you're out, and there's I didn't take a photo of this, but there was a place where they use what's called a traversing carriage. So they basically put a tram onto these tracks that they then can slide the tram sideways along these runners to get it into a different alignment, to get it, you know, to a different place. It's kind of like Thomas the Tank Engine kind of stuff. It's cool. Then we went into the old train bit. So they have a train, and there was a planetarium bit, but they closed the planetarium, I think because of COVID restrictions. So that was all shut. Actually, I'm going to go with the tea. And then the last section we went into... Oh, we found a bandsaw in there. So we teased Marcus about that. It was huge. It was like, I don't know, the bandsaw that he bought has a 1 meter chain. The bandsaw that was in this workshop had like a 5 meter chain. It was monstrous by comparison. But there was a seating car, there was the engine, there was an open deck where there was a car strapped on it, and then there was the engine itself down the other end, and you could look into it, and there's some kind of bits and pieces about, you know, oh, this guy was a really great train driver, and, you know, little plaque there, and that kind of thing. over the other side of this room, it actually had a munitions remembrance and plaque on the wall for people who had done wartime stuff. So apparently Tasmania, and this was a bit of a discussion that Marcus and I then had, Tasmania had to go through the blackout stage as well during the war. And I'm kind of thinking, who the fuck is flying over Tasmania? Where do they think they are? Because Tasmania is like the arsehole of nowhere. There's nothing past it. It's not on the way to anything, maybe Antarctica. But you've got to cross Australia to get anywhere close to it either. Why the hell would we have to do blackouts? It was just a bizarre concept that Tasmania would have to comply with blackouts, because the trains had to have blackout provisions. And yeah, there was a base. So I think the blacksmith used to actually make munitions, guns, artillery or something for the war. But still, it was kind of like, you know, nothing would have fuel to get here. Maybe now, yes, sure. But back then, what the heck? Yeah. So that was certainly a new kind of concept. And then the next room we got into was a 3D sensory room where you got to interact physically with stuff and do, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Reflexes and responses, and there was a brilliant table like we saw. It had a Lazy Susan on the top, but the Lazy Susan had a glass top, and the top of the table was full of liquid and sand, so it was blue. And you'd spin it and you'd watch the sand do its thing. Well, Marcus came up to me after a bit and he goes, "Watch this." And he said, "Get Sophie away from this." And he did a Marcus spin, like a daddy spin on this thing. Holy cow. He spun this thing so freaking hard, it starts making 3 little whirlpools in the round. And then it keeps on swirling. I would love a coffee table like this. It was mesmerizing. It was absolutely fantastic. I had in my home at some point, I think my brother had it or something, you know those sand art things that you could flip upside down and the sand dribbles down? Well, the current ones flow too fast. I don't know what the hell it is about the old ones versus the new ones. The new ones just go whoosh and it's over. The old ones used to trickle and go really slowly. Maybe it was the oil that they put in it. I don't know. But those kind of things absolutely mesmerized me. So this was something a little bit similar. Then I went into what was called a perspective tunnel. Now so there was a bridge, and then there was a tunnel around it. Didn't take a video of this because seriously, you'd spew. It was bad enough when you're actually in it. So you're standing on the bridge. The tunnel is turning, so it rotates, and then it stops, and then it rotates again, and then it stops. And that's just the outside. There's mirrors at both ends so that the walls just continue. And I'm looking out at some chick who's down there with her kid, and you know, this thing is doing its thing. And seriously, you feel like you go from standing upright to standing at 45 degrees. It was freaky as all hell. So I kind of go, Sophie, come in here. Thinking that Marcus will actually have a problem with this room. And he comes in as well. And I said, no, you've got to come into the middle. And he comes in and he kind of goes, oh my God, this is so trippy. But he was okay in it, thank God. And Sophie was just standing there, not a bother on her. It was so much fun. It was really, really cool. But it reminded me of the Funderland experience in Dublin. I don't know if it still happens. Any dubs who watch me? Does Funderland still happen? You know, and there used to be the... it might be like the ghost house, but it was like a wall, and it was all these different kind of sensory things. So the floor would go up and down as you step on it, and there's, you know, the bits would wobble, and there'd be the glass mirror maze and all of that kind of thing incorporated into this ride. But basically it was just amusement park rides, and it used to travel in Ireland, or sorry, it travelled to Ireland for January, just after Christmas, I think it opened, or it may have been open just before Christmas. And I went along with my siblings. My big brother put me in the front seat of the roller coaster, and I've hated roller coasters ever since then. And this thing was pissy small. Sorry. You know, if you've been on the roller coasters in the States or in the amusement parks like East Coast of Australia, Gold Coast, all those kind of things, this thing was seriously piss weak. And I will not go near a roller coaster since then. No way, no how, not going to happen. Yeah, this thing had seriously, it had no guts, and I therefore have absolutely no guts. The only thing I used to enjoy at this park was what was called a waltzer, which had the skirt that went up and down in the round, and then it had the big seats that would sit maybe 4 or 5 teenagers in it, and you get the ride dude who would come around and give you extra spins with the momentum. Used to love that, maybe because it was a lateral kind of thing. Yeah, but none of the other rides would get me at all. Yeah, I'd go for the fun of watching my friends. I think I actually watched my brother on the Viking ship turn green. The Viking ship was a massive swing that was in, you know, like a hammock shape, and there'd be rows of people along it. So these half would be facing that way, and then the other half would be facing in. And at one point as well, somebody spewed up here and then hit themselves with the spew when they would crash down into it. Yeah, but my brother came off that green, and yeah, that was like, yeah, that's not happening thing. So yeah, no, I don't do the whole amusement rides or anything like that. I wouldn't go bungee jumping. I have considered, would I skydive, but no, would not do any of the amusement ride kind of things. Yeah, I'm a wuss like that. So yeah, that was kind of cool. And then it was into the shop and leave, you know. It was very much, the shop is at the entrance to the museum. It was funny because, careful Sophie. I don't, what? What one? What? I don't have anything else for you. What?
That one.
What one?
That one.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, we were walking around, and behind a corner there was a Dalek. That was all kinds of cool. There were photos of the museum having a cosplay thing, and I think the Dalek is a leftover from that. There's photos on the Facebook group or something of all the events that happened with the cosplay. Some of them were so stupid. But you know, they gave it a go and had fun and exhibited, you know, their move, whatever that might be. But one of the staff members with the host was dressed up as, I think he was supposed to be a David Tennant doctor with the, I think it was the brown trench coat that he had at one point. But yeah, some very, very strange people. And I've got friends who do cosplay. They do it really, really well, actually. But yeah, it was funny. But yeah, the Dalek was there, and that was cool. So I took a photo of that. And of course the photo of the day, I think, was borrowed, or the day after the theme was borrowed. And I was so tempted to put the Dalek down, but the Dalek wasn't borrowed and the TARDIS was stolen, so didn't really kind of work with that kind of theme. But it was still very, very cool to see somebody made a full-size, what looked like a full-size Dalek. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm part of a Doctor Who group. I haven't heard from them in ages. Stupid Facebook algorithms. I get crafty stuff coming out the wazoo, and I get ads that are so repetitive that drive me absolutely scatty. It's boring. I'm watching the mail. I have a box that is actually stuck in, I don't know where, because I'm not getting any updates for it. It got to Sydney to the mail forwarding centre, and I think it's got stalled there, either customs or the mail forwarding or whatever. It's my Black Needle Society retreat in a box. I'm waiting for that. I did get my Luxury Read book. That is a book that was sent on the 2nd. Today is the 9th, so it's taken a little bit of time to get here. But it's basically a book and a pamper item. So I will be unboxing that shortly. And I will put that up on the channel. It's Australian only for that one. But I think there are US based companies that do something similar. I'm part of Mindy and Ruby's book club. And we are reading, I think it's Patricia. No, it can't be Patricia Kelly. She's Irish. Rachel? No, Pamela. Maybe it's Pamela Kelly. Anyway, it's called The Restaurant. And we started off by reading 3 chapters a week. And on a Tuesday there is a live, and I don't know, I could be missing it right now, or it could be on right now, or it could be on in the next hour. I can't remember. But the book is about 3 sisters inheriting a restaurant from their grandmother, and you know, the characters and stuff. So that's been really, really easy to read. I bought it on Kindle because it's the cheaper option. I don't even know if it's available in Australia as a paperback. But was able to get it on Kindle, and it's a really, really fast read, so I'm quite enjoying that. So I have to keep putting it away, and my biggest problem with the Kindle is it doesn't give you a kind of books in progress section. I wish there was a section that you could look through all of the books that you've kind of got half read, because otherwise they get lost in your general library, and I potentially might not get back to that book for a long time. So, and then there's other books like Barefoot Investor that I've got in there that it just gets lost in the crowd, but it's not the kind of book that you read cover to cover anyway. It's the kind of book that you kind of go, okay, I want this information now, where do I go? And I want this information, and you know, so it's a pick and mix kind of thing. So yeah, a little bit frustrating. I tried to get a book out of the library the other week, because you know how I'm taking all these mossy kind of pictures. Well, I wanted to know what some of the mosses were and if I could identify any of them, and there is a book that I could get, but it's not compatible with my phone. It's like, this is really frustrating. So I downloaded Libby, which a lot of you might be familiar with, because Libby is a library app basically. You've got to be a member, you load up your library, and Libby is your reader. So it keeps it from being shared, I suppose, because, you know, they're PDFs. So it kind of keeps it within the library system. Yeah, so I've now downloaded Libby and Overdrive, and there was another few people were talking about online subscriptions, well, like magazines that they subscribe to, and there's one called Readly. Go ask Daddy. So Readly is an online app that you can subscribe to a myriad of magazines. And it's $10 a month or something. But you can get a host of different magazines. I don't know if there's a limit to the length of time you can borrow them or anything. I don't know if there's any way to then save any of the pages from the magazines or what. The only one I subscribe to currently is Just Cross Stitch, and I love Just Cross Stitch magazine. My favourite magazine in hard copy was actually discontinued by Immediate Media. And a few people commented on that on this post. You know, but trying to have a good source of crafty magazines, it costs a fortune, and it's so slow because it's coming from the UK, and paper is heavy, so I don't know how they ship it, but it's slow boat to China, literally. Like, I feel like we're 2 months behind here. And then the markup is colossal as well, so it's a little bit painful buying a craft magazine here, to then be able to show you or flip through, and it's not necessarily up to date and all that kind of jazz. So I had a lot of fun flipping through just cross stitch magazine with my floss tubey people the other week, because that was digital, it was current, and your clarity then is spot on. Yeah, it was just really, really good. And the only reason why I actually got that and found about this was from Autumn Lane Stitchery, and it turns out that it's $20 for a whole year, and you get all the back issues and everything else. So it's cheap as everything else is like 50-60 US, and the conversion for that is just horrendous because they're mostly UK based. So it was just like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna do without, you know, and we'll see how we go. Yeah, other than that, I don't know, has anything else changed, happened? I do have an insert from our walk, so that's going to add on to the video. It's a bit of a kind of vlog vent. Stress was high at the weekend, basically because I couldn't keep my mouth shut, and after that I have tried to keep my mouth shut. I don't know how successful I've been, but I'm trying. Okay. Yeah, it can be quite frustrating. Didn't even realise that yesterday was a bank holiday until, I don't know, something was said on Facebook or something. And it was like, oh, that's why she hasn't got up to go to school. Right. And I thought he knew. He didn't know. And he suddenly turns around at 11 o'clock or something and goes, don't you have school? And she goes, no. Hadn't informed anyone. Oh, it's just like... Alright, so she's picked up my blood pressure tablet. Center bottle flying. She's a good kid. Yeah, see, that's one of the things I have struggled with big time, is the fact that his kids aren't protectors. I think they've probably been in survival mode, to be honest, but they don't, I don't know, it's all kinds of screwy in my head. Anyway, I'm going to stop now. So yeah, I've got the walk. This was at the mountain bike park, and just took Mocha up for a bit of a walk. Got to see a wallaby. I've got to see if I can edit this photo on my phone and mark where the wallaby is. So here's the photo of the wallaby, unmarked. Can you find it? There was actually two. So there was one that I took the picture of, and there was one a little bit further away. And as soon as Mocha heard it, he was like up on his back legs trying to find it and being a bit of a dill brain. And then walked out. It was beautiful. It was sunny. It was warm. It was just gorgeous. There wasn't many people in the mountain bike park. There's a place where there's a whole load of jumps, so I sat down on one of the benches for a few minutes. Hello, I'm out for a walk. I went to the mountain bike park. That's just a couple of streets away from us. This is bush, a few minutes from home, like, I don't know, 3 minutes from home. This is usually for mountain bikes, being a mountain bike park, so it's rough trail. Oh, crickets. I've got pooch. It's Mocha. He's my beagle. Sadly neglected at home, so I thought, oh what the hell, I'll bring him out for a walk and show you the trail, let you listen to the birds and the crickets, and I don't know, maybe shoot the breeze a bit. More like a vlog than a whip and chat. So he's got a smell. Oh, that was a skippy nearby. Nope, leave it. I've already seen 2 wallabies. Leave. He will bolt. He actually got off his chain a couple of nights ago when it was stormy, and I think went out playing Hunt the Skippy up on the hill, and unfortunately I saw the chain hanging out of his kennel and thought he was in there, and then when he came out, he wolfed his food down because obviously he'd been running around all night and he was soaking wet because he must have only just got home. I was like, oh, you damn dog. At least he came home. But yeah, he must have had a good old time and he was ravenous by the morning. I don't have much by way of battery life. Oh, that dangling is just the lead. So I may keep these reasonably short and snappy. I don't know if my wind is going to be affecting you either. So yeah, looks like we're at a trailhead. I'm going to turn right because I don't want to keep going up or over, but there's a trail going up, a trail going over, and this is pretty steep going down. So I'll see how I go with that. I've actually got Mocha's leash over my bag handle so my hands are free to either use the gimbal or catch myself if I fall. But there is suburb views just through there, but there's no houses nearby. There's very few people in the mountain bike park this morning, so I don't know if we're going to see many humans. And there's no shooting, thank God. There's a rifle range at the entrance that we can often hear when they shoot. So there's no shooting, so you're not going to hear that in the background either. Just the currawongs and the wattlebirds. But right now all I can hear is wind and me talking. There's butterflies everywhere. It's amazing. There's some on the left. And of course, silly me, I came out to actually hunt down a photograph for my Fat Mum Slim photo a day kind of project. And I'm supposed to be looking for the word borrowed. And I feel a little bit bad because I'm actually stealing somebody else's idea. I do actually have one that I could use, but somebody put in a photo of their street library that they had, and that we went to the pub for lunch before we were doing. No, skippies, and Mocha will stand up on his back feet to chase. He really likes to chase. I don't know if I can get any closer to them though, but let's see, they were quite big. So yeah, oh, there's one. And we'll just sit here and watch. So hang on just a tick. So Mocha. Okay, he's gone. Alright. Gone. Come on, mice are gone. Come on. Hang on, the phone's gonna go a bit crazy while I get back on the trail. Alright. So yeah, I have got a street library photograph, but there was one that I was sure I'd passed like a street or two away from me where I live. So I was going to go out and actually snap that as a current picture. I don't tend to like going back into the archives just because it doesn't really use your daily creativity. I mean, yeah, you took the photo in the first place, but from my point of view, it's all about being in the moment, I suppose, thinking about it currently, not forward planning. In saying that, though, I have gone through my archives on Google. I have got the search function in that, and I will look something up if I need a picture, for instance, or I need inspiration from myself even. So that's kind of what I do with that. But yeah, so I came out with the dog hunting the library, which I can't recall where it is. It's not on a website. I've looked at the streetlibrary.org.au and it hasn't been registered there. So I came up one road that we don't actually go up an awful lot, but the next one over I think is where it is. So I'll give that a go, and if it's not there, then I might use the archive photo or find something else for borrowed. And I haven't taken a picture for today, and stupid, because I did make a note of it saying, oh, it's a morning shot, and I haven't taken a photo, and it's now, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I may use an archive, or I may just go, you know what, morning's over, and this is where I'm at. So I don't know. This morning started off slow. I got my coffee and asked hubby to get the kid onto the vacuuming, which is her chore of the weekend. We can't do it on Saturdays anymore because Saturdays we go out. So he got her onto that. That's always a fucking debacle. And she started at the other end of the house for some god unknown reason. Her routine is bad at the best of times, and I stopped her on it. And then she proceeded to continue where she had just been told, stop it, you work with your regular routine, which is terrible anyway. She hasn't even nailed this routine, and now she's wanting to make changes, which means that she'll miss stuff, and she misses things anyway. She would miss a piece of fluff under her fucking foot, and drives me bonkers that she just doesn't care. Anyway, grumble. So she got hauled up on that, and I stepped out of it and let Marcus do the whole instructing. But then he goes and picks on me and saying it's my fault that he's having to be pedantic, and I'm kind of thinking, what's the fucking point in having standards if the standards get told and then don't get upheld? He's always telling me I can't be inconsistent, yet I get this kind of I don't know, it's just like, this is too fucking hard. So I grabbed Mocha and I left, and was listening to Mrs. Coffee's live because I went out on the road yesterday. There's the query whether or not we should be, or I should have got a present for a friend, just cause, nothing special. I'm gonna go sit down because I can. Got a present for a friend, and Marcus is quizzing me and wondering whether or not he should even have an interest in it. And I'm kind of thinking, well, no, should you? This is a gift for a friend, and I'm kind of going, you've just spent $70 on a bandsaw that, was second-hand. Did we need it? Kind of. And I didn't say anything, but I might. Hang on, I'm just putting my tripod on. I'm going to sit and let you look at the view. And hopefully it's not too windy. So, there's the clouds. Yeah. Hello. Come on. Camera. Oh, it's been a douche. Alright, I'm going to sit. Better make sure I've got a hold of it. And you may see some riders. They're on those kind of, where's my finger? They're on these kind of slopes. They're like skateboard curves and stuff. I'm hoping the wind isn't buffeting too crazy. Sorry, I want to go down. Can't see those gorgeous cliffs that are just over, they're just over there, kind of, yeah, over the middle of the camera. I'll show them when I'm coming down, but there are birds flying around. It's quite breezy, so you might get buffeted. Yeah, and stupid me, I don't have my water bottle, so I can't enjoy. Anyway, but yeah, so phone blew over. I've done only 4,000 steps according to my watch. Yeah. So yeah, I'm out for a few minutes. It's hot. It's, well, I say it's hot. It's hot for me. My phone battery is probably going to die any second because it's way down low and it wasn't charging before it was out. So it is what it is. If I die or it falls off, then it falls off. Before you get dropped off the earth though, this, I'm trying to see if I can get the pinnacle. Yeah, the pinnacle that we can see from the house is, sorry, my Polaroid glasses are now acting up. I'm trying to get my angles. I think the pinnacle is kind of here. This ridge here. So you can see there's a silver stick. That's the top of the mountain that you can normally see from the photos that I take from the house, if you're ever looking at those. So it's dry. It's got very low grass because the wallabies come down. Obviously not as plentiful as they could because there's some long seedy bits. There are some cropped bits and there's scat all over the place, but they're not as prolific here as they could be, for whatever reason, because there's plenty of food here for them. Not much water, that's the only thing. Not much water. There is a track called the Gully Track, and it's rained for the last 2 days, and the gully is actually dry, so I don't think there's a permanent river through here, so that's going to be a disadvantage for them. Yeah, but I'll have inserted a picture. Somebody coming up in a car, maintenance. I'll insert a picture and you may be able to make out the wallaby in the picture. Taz water, I'll be going up to the reservoir somewhere along the trail. Or checking that the trails are clear, I don't know. Supposedly it's regatta weekend. Somebody took photos of planes. Can't think of the name. There might be the red somethings. No, I can't think. Anyway, they were doing some routines, so somebody put a photo up. There's some skippies there you might just have seen going from left to right at the top of the grass. Big skippies. So I haven't heard any planes myself. I did hear a I don't know, 747, 737 or something, a plane leaving, flew over the house, which is not necessarily normal, but it is flying into wind, head to wind, so maybe it's just a flight path. There's just so few flights at the moment that maybe it was memorable. Not entirely sure. They're now talking about opening up to let Hobart be an international airport and connecting Tasmania with New Zealand. So that'd be interesting if we get some Kiwi visitors in. But what? Hello. Hi. Your nose is lovely and wet. Hello. Do you want to keep walking? Let me get the dog on video. Oh, hang on. That way, that way, that way. There. Oh, no, that way. There's the Mocha. Mocha. There's Mocha. I have to say this gimbal's quite handy. To be able to move and keep things on a level and all that kind of jazz. Alright, we'll keep walking. I will take the feet off because they're heavy. Not that you guys will notice. And keep going. So yeah, there was late vacuuming, which meant that my WiPnChat, which I normally do on a Sunday, was delayed. Then I was listening to Miss Coffee, and then it was just like, okay, I'm done with the criticism, I'm gonna go out. So yeah, don't know what I'm gonna do when I get home. I have a whole heap of floss tube stuff that I want to update on, all my stitching updates. I just haven't had the give a shits to record. I'm feeling a bit, I don't know, jaded maybe. There's the cliffs just up there, center screen, with the water tank saying Kank, I think. I don't quite know why that's, well, it's a water tank. Oh, it's nice and cool in the shade. This sun, I swear, I will have sunburn from this sun, even though that literally was, I don't know, less than 10 minutes sitting down. Some dude walking his dog, gorgeous long-haired Alsatian, so I might just keep the camera low as we pass. Poor Alsatian got growled at for just walking past. Dear, that wasn't nice. He needs to be around dogs a bit more. Ooh, frogs. Great big noisy frogs. You know the frogs that you can get, the wooden frogs, and you run the stick along the back? It sounds like one of those. I don't know what kind of frog that is, but we'll see if we can get sound closer. There's water to my right. I'm not sure if there's water to my left as well. We must surely have passed where the frog was. And for the size of them, they're actually very noisy. I mean, look, there's frogs worldwide, but their sound certainly travels. Alright, I'm going to switch off and I will see you in another video, and I'm going to pack the dog into the car and see if we can find this mini library. Yeah, alright, okay, talk to you soon. And then got going again, and Mocka was a complete dill brain again when we passed this long-haired German Shepherd that was coming in with its owner, and he got all kind of snappy and barky, and it was just like, you idiot. All kinds of stupid bravado from them. Yeah, wasn't impressed. And it's, you know, the owner had pulled his dog well out of the way as well, so I don't know, did he know that his dog would have been likely to do something, or what? I don't know. And then as I was walking out, I haven't got this on video, unfortunately, and it didn't keep going, but there was a really noisy frog. Now, I don't know if you've got these in the States, but there's a wooden toy that you can get, and it's got ridges on its back, and you get a wooden stick, and you just run it along its back, and it goes, trump, you know, as a frog call. Well, it sounded like one of those toys. I don't know what your frog kind of scene is like in the States. Although, Lynn keeps sending me videos, which I love, of Voight and other big tree frogs, green tree frogs. They're huge, and their owner, I think it's called Sticky Frogs on Instagram, I think it's the name. And yeah, she keeps sending me through these videos of the frogs getting fed and chomping on their owner's fingers. Oh god, they make me laugh so much. It's so cool. Yeah, really, really cool. And of course, because she's got geckos and all sorts of things herself. So yeah, it's really, really cool. And then there was a video that she sent, I think yesterday, might have been, of people putting their hand out to pet their pets and then just kind of leaving it hover over their head and watching the reaction of the pet. Yeah, some were quite traumatized by it. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, there's those kind of fun things that come through on occasion. Haven't really been up to much, just waiting on the mail. Need to get some videos done, and then it's just down to processing time. Have felt quite discouraged, I think, in myself. I think it's probably just some of it is the stress. Oh, amazing. And yeah, just, I don't know, out of sorts. I don't know that I'm looking forward to going back to work at all, which, I don't know. Is that telling me I should move on from that position? I don't know. I mean, I like some of the people that I work with. I like that my work is kind of my work, and it's as good as I'm going to put into it. You know, it's going to be as good as I'm going to get out of it. But I don't know. Maybe it's time to move on. But I don't know. I'll think about it. Let's see how we go. I think it's also the fear of, okay, I'm going back. Yike, as well. So yeah. It's looming, and I'm losing my crafting time and everything else. Like, I was showing my stitching projects and how much stitching I've been getting done. I've got 2 small projects that are once a week drops, and then I've got 3, I think it's 3 monthly ones that are year-long monthlies, and then I've got the last year's stitch along to kind of catch up on the Harry Potter one, that I'm just doing at my own pace, you know, not trying to keep up with drops or anything else. So just beetling along with those. Really enjoying the Clouds Factory one, the endangered animals. That's all kinds of cute. Yeah? Lovely, Sophie. Daddy's done a fruit platter for her. She is very fruit orientated. Eats her fruit without any issue. Normally eats meat without much issue. It gets a little bit funny when it comes to other things. Sometimes she's good with her veg, sometimes she's terrible. Again, it could come down to this whole sensory thing. How does it feel? And somebody was saying in one of the mums groups, they were not looking for any criticism, and they didn't get criticism from what I saw, but they were looking for help with their kid who had sensory issues and needed to get referred to the autism kind of peds to see if they were autistic. And a couple of the parents were kind of saying, yeah, you've got to make notes about what texture affects them, you know, and really kind of look, listen, feel kind of thing at different things about that whole auditory and sensory taste and stuff. And Marcus said that he used to be like this as a kid. Sensations and textures he would like or hate and therefore avoid. And then we get, you know, Carmen being potentially picky, but then I think that's more, she's just picky. And she'll chew something in infinitely longer than is necessary. Whereas Sophie will kind of, no, I don't like, and it's because it's a new sensation. sweets she doesn't have a problem with, and the popping candy was like that reaction was gold. Yeah, she's interesting. Just watching her. So yeah, look, this is going to be an hour and a half, probably, with that extra video. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to finish off this background piece, but I'm going to keep going in my own time. And yeah, I'll let you go and catch you on the other side of work. And hopefully we get a waterfall in next weekend. So I've got one day, well, not even one day, one morning of work at the end of the week, and we'll see how we go. Yes, it will be interesting. Oh, Gesundheit. Alright. Yeah, I will see you around. If you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe. Drop me a comment, like the video, share with friends. Let them know that I'm here doing WiPnChats or whatever. If somebody needs some entertainment while they're crafting, you don't have to be diamond painting. You could do whatever the heck you like. I know, I have friends who do the cleaning while I'm talking. You know who you are. So yes, I hope I keep you entertained while that's happening. Now some of those lines are in her hair, so I'm not going to keep going down. So yeah, I will see you around next week most likely, and yeah, bye for now. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.